Hey guys, welcome to Heart Academy. This is the final Heart Academy for the year, thank God. All right, so in this Heart Academy, I'm going to go through the exam practice, and here is the first page. So, a few things about the exam practice. I just emailed all the parents, so a few things you need to know. This is not for a grade. Don't turn it in to me. This is just for you to see if you know exactly what's happening on your exam, which is tomorrow, Wednesday. So, I'm going to go through each problem. You do not have to do each problem, but I'm going to go through each problem just for your benefit. So with the first one, you're going to have one problem on your exam that looks sort of like this, and you have to label the expression. The first thing that you're going to label are the terms. Which ones of these are the terms, or how many terms that we have? Everything, let me make this a little bit smaller so it's easier to see, that we have here is a term. This is a term, that's a term, that's a term, that's a term, that's a like term with this term, this is a term, and this is a term. Other than the 15 and a -3, all of them are different terms. The 15 and -3 are like terms because they don't have variables with them. So how many terms that we have? Technically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So 5 terms, including the 15 and the 3, because they're like terms, so we're considering them as one. So here I will write 5 different terms, and you can even spell them out. 1, there's 1, the 15, then I'm going to put the -3 with here with that one. It's 1, 2 different terms. This term, and this is a term. Okay, our next part are the variables. How many different variables we have, which are the letters. We have this one, this one, this one, and this one. So you have 4 different variables. K, M, N, and P. Next one, coefficients. What are the coefficients that we have? The coefficients that we have are the numbers that are in front of variables. Like this one. There's a number in front of here. Hopefully remember what that invisible number is. Same with this invisible number and this one. So how many coefficients we have? There's 4. Those coefficients are 2, -1, +1, and a -7. Okay? And the constants are the numbers that don't have a variable with them. So it's that 15 and a -3. So there's 2 constants. You have a 15 and a -3. Done. Okay, so see, second part of the test, simplifying expressions. Basically, you're combining your like terms. So I'm going to use the highlighter for this. Remembering how to combine like terms. This is a like term. Make that a little bit smaller. This is a like term, and this is a like term, because they don't have variables with them. These two have the variable q. So this is a like term, and this is a like term. Remember that? And when we combine them, I'm combining. Remember, combining means add. So combining like terms, a -19 plus a -16. So we're going to add 19 and the 16. Math is wrong with that. 19 and 16. We should have -35. Negative plus a negative, so -19 combined, which means plus, a -16 is going to give us a -35. Got to remember your integer rules, and yes, for this final exam, you can use a calculator, so that should help you out greatly as well. But if you don't understand number sense, you're going to put it in the calculator wrong, and that could be a problem too. So I have -35, and then I'm going to combine, remember combining means add, these two like terms. You have a positive 2q and a positive 5q. Positive plus a positive is a positive, just add them together. So we have 7q altogether. You cannot do anything else with this. So for this section, combining like terms, that's all you're doing. Do not try to get q by itself. That's the wrong type of problem you're thinking of. Those are, what do you call them? Those are inequalities and equations. This is not. You don't see equal sign anywhere here, so don't try to separate that 7 into q. This is all that you can do with this. Let's try the next one. So our next one, I have a 10R. Are there any other R's in here? Well, look at that. There is another R in here. It's a negative 14R. So those two can be combined. Miss Batian is laughing at me. Y'all just can't see it. So, you know she's my work BFF, right? She makes things so much more fun in the afternoon. Okay. And then we have this. Okay. That's a positive 19. Remember, I like to call those naked numbers because they don't have variables, but they ain't got any clothes on. Dang naked people. And then you have a positive 17 here because this one doesn't have a variable either. Put some clothes on, man. All right. So now you see your like terms that you have. You have a positive 10R and a negative 14R. Remember, we have to combine these. What does combining mean? Add. So when I say combine like terms, add them. So you're adding a positive 10 and a negative 14. But follow your integer rules. What do we do when we have a positive and negative? You got to subtract. Keep the sign of the highest digit. The negative 14 actually is a higher digit. Not number, but digit. So I'm going to make that a negative 4R. Subtracting these two, basically I'm saying negative 14, right? Minus 10 is going to give you a negative 4R. So that means these are done. Now I'm going to combine, add these two. And these two are your naked numbers, and it's a positive 19 plus a positive 17. So positive plus a positive is a positive. Add those together, you're going to get a positive 36. Remember, you are not doing an inequality, you're not doing an equation. This is all I'm looking for in a section of your test that says simplify by combining like terms, which is the second problem on your test. Your first problem will look like this. Your second problems will look like this. Okay? Your next one. Let's try another practice. Again, you do not have to do all these practices, but I'm going to run through as many as I can before I have to go tutoring, and just so that you have an easier time with your exam. If you want to do all these practices, hey, more power to you. Alrighty, so with this one, let's first highlight all of our like terms. I'd have a naked negative 2, a naked negative 17. Oh, and here's something different, a positive 16W. W's got some clothes on. Don't you love the decent people in the world? And then a positive 19W. All right, so again, combining, add like terms. You have a negative and a negative 2 combined, add with a negative 17. Remember, so negative 2 plus negative 17 is what you're really looking at. And if you know your integer rules, you can use a calculator, but if you know your integer rules, a negative and a negative is a negative, just add them together. So altogether, this is a negative 19. So that means I've taken care of these. Good thing I don't teach Asians. I don't know what the correct form of grammar is for that one. I ain't worried about it. So now I have a positive 16W and a positive 19W. Okay. So when we have a positive and a positive, all you have to do is add them together. So 16 plus 19 gives me 35. It's a positive 35. And then I'm going to add on my W. So that's it for that one when we go to simplifying, combining like terms. This answer is negative 19 plus 35W. What else do we have? That was the sound of my battery going low. Maybe I should plug in my phone. Oh, goodness. All right, hold on a minute. Plug into the phone. It's a good time for you to take a water break. Okay, here we go. Eat my Jimmy John's sandwich. Oh, like, your sister's got to eat. You know what I'm saying? All right. Y'all know you're going to listen to the sound of my voice next year. That's why I'm keeping all the Heart Academy videos there. Okay, so now, evaluating expressions again, this time with a distributive property. What does distributive mean? It means to distribute, which means pass out that 10 like it's a $100 bill. Make it rain. Hey. So I'm going to take this 10. I'm going to multiply it with this 19C. And then I'm going to take that 10 and multiply it with negative 16. So 10 times 19C. If you multiply those together, you should get 190. Don't forget your variable, C. If I multiply the 10 with a negative 16, positive times a negative, I'm going to get a negative 160. And I'm done. So again, this is not doing one of those inequalities or evaluating the inequalities or, I can't forget what I'm talking about. Equations. Not inequality or equations where I'm looking for you to determine what the letter equals, what the value of the letter. These are just combining, and you can't do anything else after that. So then one of the questions is going to get a little harder, and it's going to look like this. Okay? This one, you still distribute what's on the outside of the parentheses first. The first thing on the outside of the parentheses is 18. Remember, any signs have got to follow with the number that's behind it. So this is a positive 18, and I'm going to distribute that positive 18 with a negative 2. And then I'm going to distribute that positive 18, okay, with a positive 3n. All right, so when I do that, I have my 18 times the 2. Wait, we have a positive and a negative. So what happens when we have a positive and negative? We're multiplying it, it's going to be negative. Positive times a negative is a negative. So this is going to be a negative 36. And then what I have is a positive 18 times a positive 3. So 18 times 3 is going to give me 54. And that one is carrying a variable, so it's 54n. But then I'm going to bring down what's left over. That's a negative 11n. That's right in the front. And when I do this, what happens is I can now combine this n, negative 11n, with a positive 54n. Okay? So now, what I'm going to do, when you have a positive plus a negative, you know you're really going to subtract, right? When I do that, I have 43. So my n's, positive 54, combined with a negative 11n, it's going to give me a negative 43n. And this one cannot be combined with anything else, so I'll bring that right over. So it's negative 36. So my final answer is negative 43n minus 36. All right, I'm going to do one more of these. So take a look at what's on the outside of the parentheses. It's at negative 4. So the first thing I'm going to distribute is negative 4 times 7, negative 7s. And then that negative 4 times a negative 12. Okay? So this time we have the negative 4 times 7. That's going to give me 28. Remember, a negative times a negative is a positive. So it's actually a positive 28. And take that negative 4 and distribute it with the negative 12. So the 12 times the 4, which is going to give me 48, and it's going to be a positive 48, because a negative times a negative is a positive 48. And then I have to do is bring down the 9. Oops, the variable s goes right here. Negative 4 times negative 7 is a positive 28. So now what I'm going to do is combine my like terms. This positive 9, you see that naked number, and this positive 48. Okay? Combining those two will give you 57, a positive 57. So I have a positive 57. This cannot be combined with anything, so I'll just bring it back down. 28. It was positive. 28s. So 28s plus 57. All right, I'm going to end this video here, and on the next one I'll pick up with evaluate expressions by doing order of operations, which is the next part. See you then.